I'm Professor Field, the chair of the biology department here at Bucknell University, and I have some expertise in bat immunology, and I've been using uh, a model to predict what's going to happen here at Bucknell over the coming semester. This SEIR model is the subject of several videos that I've shared on my YouTube channel, and I'll be sharing with you some really good news about the predictions that that model is making for the rest of the semester. But first, I wanted to talk about a different statistic that's also very informative about how well we've contained the coronavirus infection here on campus. That statistic is shown here. It's the positivity rate over the previous 7 days, and it combines the positive tests for faculty, staff, and students and divides by the total tests done among that population. And you can see here that at the beginning of the semester, in the first week of classes or so, we had a positivity rate that peaked at just over 0.5%. And that was some cause of concern at that point because if that had continued to rise, we would be in serious trouble here on campus. But instead, we see that it's decreased from that point, and it's held pretty steady over the past couple of weeks, and it's now around 0.2% or even a little lower lately. This is really good news because it indicates that we're testing enough. We have frequent enough testing to detect the spread of an outbreak on campus. It indicates that we have very low numbers of cases on campus, only a total of 11 so far. And it also indicates that we are performing effective mitigation measures. But there's an important caveat to this, and that is that we don't have full compliance with testing at this point in time. Around 90% of students are complying with the testing regimen, and they're getting tested every 10 days. That means every student has been tested at least once, and many have now received their second test here on campus. But there's as many as 10% of the students who have not yet received a single test. And that's a very worrying statistic for me. That means that over 300 students have not yet had a negative test since they traveled here and arrived on campus. And that is really a concern. If their testing positivity rate among those 300 plus students is the same 0.25%, that means there's probably only one student in that group that is infected, but they don't know that they're positive, and if they're not isolating, they could certainly spread it widely here on campus. Also of more concern is the possibility that the testing positivity rate among that group of students might be even higher than 0.25%. And in that case, we could have multiple students that are here on campus and potentially spreading the disease. So students who have not yet been tested and received a negative test need to act as though they are infected. They need to isolate and get tested immediately and remain isolated until they receive a negative test result back. If they are unable to get tested right away, they need to go into isolation until they're able to get tested. This is very important because the entire model that I'll be showing in the next video is has a very positive outlook for the prospect of finishing out the semester, but it depends on accurate testing results in order to inform the model. So I urge you to let everyone know that testing compliance is really a significant concern, and that if we can get everyone tested, we can get through this semester. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next video where I share the predictions of the model across the whole semester and give you a preview of what happens if we maintain this level of compliance, or if we let our guard down, how things could all go south quickly.